have a very, very, very important personality, a writer, an entrepreneur, a nature lover, a trekker, and overall, a leader. His qualities can be defined in no small words. I welcome our National President, JC Ankur Jhunjhunwala. Hello, sir. Ekta is really honored, and Kanpur is honored as you being here on our podcast.
Thank you so much. It is my privilege as well. Thank you.
So let us begin knowing something about you personally and professionally.
You know already. You've mentioned several of my hobbies while introducing me. I am a businessman. I am an industrialist. We manufacture baby food. So that is what I do professionally. I've been in JCI for 10 years now. And ever since I joined this organization has given me a lot to grow in the organization, with the organization. And in return, I have also proactively worked with the organization to grow it as well. So that's how, we come to this day today in this podcast.
That's very nice. So what inspired you to join the junior chambers?
You want the truth? I was really engrossed in my work. Yes, I had very little time for anything else other than that. And I had gotten married in 2014, and my wife and I, we thought that, we need something or some place where we can socialize a little more than what we were doing. In fact, we were hardly socializing. So that is how this whole idea of joining JCI began. I had not heard of this organization before. Some of our friends got talking that we only meet in marriages and parties. So let's join some organization which will give us a platform to be able to meet more often. And that is when somebody suggested, let's start a JCI chapter. And we started a new chapter in Shillong, and I became one of the charter members. And that's the whole story.
That's so nice. Like, yes. You have the platform to interact and network.
Yes,
furthermore.
That is how it started. True.
Yeah. Can you share an overview of the involvement in the organization?
My involvement in the organization? If you want to know the journey, it started, like I said, in 2014. In 2015, I was the joint secretary of the chapter. In 2017, I became the president, the yellow president. In 2021 was the big step when I became the zone president of the northeastern area, the northeastern zone, which is called Zone 25. And that is probably the year when, I decided that I really want to get involved and remain involved in the organization, because before then I really did not have a dream like that. Then on, it's been upwards and onwards. I became the national vice president in 23. I was the national director in 22. I was the chief executive director in 24, and now I'm serving the organization as the national president. A great opportunity and a journey which was enriching, not just for me, definitely for me, but I think I have also been able to contribute to the organization in this journey.
So a lot of accomplishments and responsibilities that go hand in hand together.
I don't know about accomplishments, but responsibilities, yes, and I picked them up gladly, knowingly, because I think to be able to serve, to be able to do good, to be able to impact members and the society is a very fulfilling kind of a experience, and I've loved experiencing it.
That's great. That's really great. So how did your experience in JCs shape your leadership skills or style?
I think the most important thing that JCs has taught me is people management. Or instead of using the word management, maybe I should use the word skills. My people skills have greatly improved by joining JCI. I have had the opportunity of working with all kinds of people of all temperaments, coming from all walks of life, from from different social and economic backgrounds, and I have worked well with them, which is not a compliment to me as much as it is to JCI, because JCI has taught me to be able to work well with them. So I would say my people skills have greatly improved in JCI, and that is what I bring to my leadership also, the people skills, my interaction with people. That is, I think, my strength.
So, like, it's a personal question. Have you ever felt apprehensive being on the top?
I would not really say apprehensive, Of course, when there is a lot of responsibility, you are worried that the onus of fulfilling them lies on you. So that worry has been there, maybe at the back of my mind, which is good also, because I think when we are worried for something, we are more. We take more effort into realizing it, right? So I think that effort is generated out of that worry at the back of the mind. Other than that, apprehension, I don't really believe there was any apprehension. I was, at all stages, I was confident that if we set our minds to something, we are going to achieve it.
So there is no age, or there is no, because in our chapter, our president is very young.
Correct.
And I feel very nice, and it's good to see that the youth is coming forward to take a seat,
yes,
which is at the helm of the organization.
Correct.
So I was just very, and when I see you seem to be too young to be here.
In fact, on the contrary, I will be turning 40 this year.
But you don't look 40.
Thank you for the compliment. Well, let me tell you, 40 is the last age in which you can take any leadership role in JCI, right? So if you want to become a LO president or take up any role in the zone or nationally, that is the age limit that you have. So to that extent, I would say I'm the older.
The senior.
I'm one of the older guys. But having said that, there is no age limit as to until when can you be a member of the organization. You can be a member of the organization for as long as you live. And as a member, because until 40, you take up leadership roles. And through taking up these leadership roles, through doing, you become a leader. Yes. And when you have become a leader, 40 is the age when, JCI expects that you will go out in the society, use your leadership skills, and create a positive impact in the society, for the people, for yourself, for your family. So there is no age limit as to until when you can be a member of JCI, but definitely to take up leadership roles within the organization, it's 40. To take up leadership roles outside the organization, I think it's just beyond that.
Then the age is no limit.
Age is no limit, naturally.
So any challenges you faced during this journey of your JCs?
Challenges are, operational challenges, you can say. Because I think there have always been people to guide us, to motivate us, and to show us the way. There's always been vision in the organization. So operational challenges, when you're doing something and then suddenly there is a hurdle, those kind of challenges are a regular occurrence, I guess. But these are the same challenges that make you strong. Yes, if for example, I'm a national president, or for example, Pranit is the local president, and if at all there were no challenges in the year, if everything went smoothly, then what would be the difference between the Pranit who started the year and the Pranit who ended it, or the Ankur who started the year and the Ankur who ended it? It is these challenges who add to your person, your personality, your character, so that at the end of the year you are a slightly better person.
No, that's true.
Yes.
So, how did JCs actually impact your growth professionally and personally?
Professionally, well, let me tell you, I'm an MBA from a very premium institute. And after having done my MBA, I was still struggling in my business, in the sense that I told you, I never had time. Time was the biggest, the scariest resource which I had. I was always busy. Let alone be the national president. And today I am here, and I'll be traveling almost 250-300 days this year, and my business is still growing, and this I have learned in JCI. So professionally speaking, I think JCI has really helped me grow as an entrepreneur, because now I am able to run my business without actually running it. So that's something. And personally speaking, I'm a better people's person now. I have a better temperament, if I may. I can work with all kinds of people. So that has definitely helped in my personal life also.
And how does your better half contribute to this journey?
Well, she's an active JC herself. She's a national trainer, a very good one at that. But if I talk about my journey, I can confidently say that I would not be here without her constant support. And when I say constant support, I don't only mean that, in terms of moral support that you go ahead and do it, but in every aspect. If I am here and something needs to be done back home, I know that she's there to take care of it. So that kind of constant support has been there, because of which I am able to sit on this chair.
And I totally believe when partners stand for each other,
Absolutely.
you grow better and you stand
Absolutely.
better.
Absolutely. The synergies are always working in your favor if you are doing it together. 1 + 1 is 11.
11. I totally agree to it.
Yes.
So, which field of projects do you really appreciate seeing? And when you visit different chapters, what are the projects you look forward to?
See, there are different aspects to JCI, right? You have social projects where we are doing something for the society. There are different kinds of projects that I have seen across the country, many of which are very, very appealing. I was just speaking to somebody where there is a project in the Northeast where one chapter adopted an entire village, and over a period of 7 years they did n number of things for the village, right from connect water line connections to every home, to building of homes, to street lights, to vocational schools, all sorts of things. The project which I visited in Kanpur today of JCI Kanpur Industrial, the Mangal Bhavan,
Yes.
I think that is a beautiful idea, and I'm sure it's going to be grand. And again, that is one project which can be replicated in different parts of the country. So there are many social projects across the country, each of different nature, but each equally impactful. And if you see them, you'll love them. But that's only one aspect of JCI. JCI is also about personal development. Yes. So if you'll ask me, I think that is the core of JCI. Because if you will look at JCI, the slogan says, "Be better."
Yeah.
Yes, we are all about making our members better individuals, so that when they go out in the society, they go out into the people, they make the society better. Yes, that is the core of JCI. Everything else is secondary to this core. Yes, it is one of the most premium, if I can say, training organizations of the world for young people. So, projects which include self-development, personal development of members are very close to me. I really fall in love with them wherever I see them. There are a lot of training programs which happen, and you can see JCI members becoming better individuals through these training programs, and also through the community service programs. Why? Because when you're doing something, you become good at doing it. Yes, you become better managers. So that is one aspect of it. But these training programs inculcate in you values also, which are very important, and which, while you become a leader, you become a better leader. What kind of a leader you become is determined by these values, and that is what I think I love about JCI.
So,
Be better.
As we know, the chapter caters to all different three categories of JCs, lady JCs and junior JCs.
Okay.
So, do you recommend any courses for all the three different fields of the chapter?
Okay, let me tell you that a couple of years ago, JCI took a conscious decision of not having any JC ret wings, right? So the idea was that men or women, they are equal, and they should participate in the chapter activities or organization activities on an equal footing. So when you say lady JCs, the image that comes to my mind is maybe you're talking about a JC ret wing, people who are associated with JCI through their spouses, not directly. I believe that women should be members directly, and they should benefit from all the areas of opportunities of JCI. So there is no distinction between men and women there. Having said that, if you talk about the area of opportunities itself, there are a lot of training programs, there are a lot of events, both national and international, where you can attend and get a chance to meet so many people from around the world, discuss with them, get ideas from around the world, collect the best practices. A lot of social projects that you're already doing. When you talk about junior JCs, however, there is a definitive program in JCI called Junior JC Wing, where we have a very beautiful plan of action directed at empowering these junior JCs. And when I say junior JCs, it is not necessarily only children of our members, but it could be anybody between that age bracket of 14 to 18 years, right?
Okay.
So they can be junior JCs, they can be a part of that wing, and through being a part of that wing, they can participate in various activities designed specifically for junior JCs, locally, at a zone level, and nationally also, because there are a lot of national activities and competitions, each designed to make them better individuals. More than trying to impact the society through the junior JCs, it's about making them better individuals, making them better versions of themselves.
Okay, that means Kanpur is doing, to your insight, I would definitely say 2 points which you put up, that ladies should also be a part.
Absolutely.
Directly. So I'm an individual, a person, my husband passed away a few years back. I'm an individual member to the chapter, and the chapter had invited me individually, so I'm an individual member. So JCI in Kanpur has always taken this front foot that they never leave. They follow the rule of we are a family. Once there, you are a family. You are always there.
Absolutely.
So I was welcomed as an individual to the chapter. And this year with Ekta, we have followed a trend of giving internships to students of high school, so that they, I feel the newer generation has more caliber than us.
Absolutely.
And to prove their insights, we have given the format of Ekta to them to present their outlook of how Ekta could be.
Okay.
So this time, our interns have worked and laid out our Ekta. That is our in-house publication.
Great.
And the podcast is being done by our senior ladies. So this is how I think we actually, what you are giving us, so we are following certain steps of what you are saying.
Absolutely.
So, so during your journey, what do you think is your legacy which you would really look up to?
To be honest, I don't really believe in leaving behind a legacy, because maybe, if I am interpreting it correctly, leaving behind a legacy would mean doing something so unique that others have not been able to replicate it. And if I have done something which others have not been able to replicate, and if it was a good thing, then I think it, in a sense, is a failure. Why? Because, an organization should always grow. And we should always strive towards the growth of the organization as a whole, year on year, and not just look at our tenure or my role and what am I supposed to do? Did I excel in it? Did I create a record that nobody could break? That's a failure. I should create a record, but when I'm creating a record, or when I'm building a legacy, alongside I should also build a foundation upon which others can, or the succeeding years, the succeeding people can build even greater and higher towers. So leaving behind a legacy that people will remember in terms of a record, I really don't think that is something I want to do.
All right, that's I think that's a great point of view which you have, and we truly respect that. So, what are the fondest memories you have in your your journey in JCS?
It'll be very hard to pinpoint any one.
No, you can pinpoint a few.
There have been many moments, because if I can, I think today, if I look at my closest of friends, I'll find that more than 80% or maybe 90% of them are JC members. Yes, that is the kind of friendship that I have built in the last 10 years. And I would go on to say that not only friends, some of them are as close to me as family. While we say the entire JCI is a family, but still. So I do share a lot of memories with these close people, whom I have, who have joined my life and who have become an important part of it over the last few years, and there are quite a few such memories. But if I talk about JCI and what are the things that have really touched me in JCI, I think some instances that immediately come to my mind is, for example, there was a gentleman from my own chapter, and his father was unwell, and they had gone to Hyderabad for treatment, and he did not know anybody there. But just because he was a JC, and he got that reference that, and he called up some people that, I'm a JC and I'm here in Hyderabad and I need some assistance, whatsoever that may be. And it was really touching that quite many JCs from Hyderabad were there with him throughout the period of the treatment, and they did not let him feel for one instance that he did not have family there. Food in the hospital, from home on all days, or whether it is any kind of medical assistance required or any kind of support required in Hyderabad, people were there all the time, and they did not know him, but the only connection they had was that he's a JC, and that was enough.
That's so nice to know.
That was enough.
That's just a feeling of being a part of a family.
Absolutely.
And I think when you talk about JCs, it's somewhere you feel that every corner and every place you have a family, and if you need, people are there for you.
100%.
So, sir, I've heard you write articles also, and that's a creative hobby which you have, as well as trekking. So you're adventurous as well as an writer. So how did this inculcate?
Very hard to pinpoint as to how did it start, but for as long as I remember, now at this age, I'm 40, I have enjoyed doing both of those things. Trekking has been a hobby for a long time, and I've done a lot of treks in India, solo and in groups, and I always find myself smiling year to year when I'm in the midst of nature and enjoying the sights there. So that's that. About writing, well, not so much. I do write, yes, but most of my articles have been of a political nature.
All right.
And I have written from time to time for certain magazines and newspapers on subjects which are currently political at that point in time when I might have written them.
That's nice.
Yes.
So, sir, a very crucial point where I would like to get an insight from you, that what is an ideal strength which you look in a chapter of a city?
You mean in terms of numbers?
Yes.
Well, I think in any chapter, yes, there is a 80-20 rule which applies, which means that if you have a chapter of 40 members, 50 members, you'll have about 20% of the members who are always active, and you'll see them in meetings and who will take charge or lead in the organization in terms of projects and all that. So the greater the number, the more the active strength. So I don't believe there is an ideal number, so to say. There are chapters in India which are 300, 400 strong, and they're doing very well.
All right.
There are chapters across the world I know who are as strong as 800, 1000, and they're doing brilliantly well.
Must be. The more the merrier.
The more the members, the more the active strength.
No, that's true.
Right? So if you have 1000 members, you can easily expect 200 members to be present in a meeting.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, and if you have 200 members present in a meeting or participating in a program, you can imagine how great that program might be.
Oh, definitely. That outlook changes and the strength of the chapter increases.
Absolutely. And one more very big benefit that happens with larger chapters is, imagine a chapter of 1000 influential people in the city, and imagine the president of that chapter. How important would that post suddenly become?
Of course.
Yes.
So do you have, I've not been at the post, but as a president, do we have international and national level projects or ID courses which they should be attending?
Yes, of course. JCI. When I say JCI, I mean JCI internationally. Training is the core, right? So they have a lot of training programs which are organized either online or during international conferences. So we have a Asia conference, which is the Asia Pacific Conference, ASPAC as it is called, the European Conference, African Conference, and the American Conference. At all of these 4 conferences, there are a lot of training programs that happen, and a lot of very prominent international trainers of very good standing conduct these training programs for members present there. Training programs also happen at the World Congress, which is, of the entire world. JCI also has a training ladder for people who want to become trainers themselves,
All right.
not just attending the training program, but becoming a trainer. So we have a national training ladder in JCI India, where you become a zone trainer, which is your state or your region. Then you become a national trainer, and in JCI internationally also they have a training ladder where you become a national trainer, you become an area trainer, which means like Asia Pacific or Europe or America, and then you become a global trainer.
All right.
So training is always there, opportunities are always there. If you're talking about projects other than training, JCI has something called a twining program.
Correct.
So your chapter can, or any chapter can twine with another chapter in another country. And when I say twine, they sign an MOU, and then they start doing projects and programs together, which means they can have exchange programs among themselves. They can do shared projects where some part of the project is implemented here and some other part is implemented there. They could do parallel projects. These chapters come to be known as sister chapters, and they develop a close bond with each other because of their constant interaction between members. And MOU is signed in the presence of the world president at any of these conferences that happens, and that is how you can do international projects also.
Oh, that's really great. Like
Yes.
you can read the pedestal at the top with a lot of learning and a lot of concepts.
Correct, and you can do it at the local level. I mean, as a local chapter, as JCI Kanpur Industrial, for instance, you can have sister chapters, multiple sister chapters across the world.
All right.
And you could be doing projects with them. You could be doing programs with them. You could be doing exchange programs with them, where your members go there, their members come here, they stay with you, you stay with them. Learn from each other.
So this comes to the president of the chapter. I had a question which comes to an individual member. We have a lot of designations like HJF, JFP, where the new members do not understand the concept of this. Can you give an insight to that?
These are titles that you're talking about. HGF, for example, is called a Henry Gizenbeer foundation member, right? Or JFS is JC's foundation star. These are all foundation titles. When I say foundation titles, what I mean is, as a member or as a non-member, if you contribute to the JCI foundation, the foundation, in lieu of your contribution, gives you this title, awards you with this title. So if you have a JFS, it is somebody who has contributed rupees 1 lakh to the JCI foundation. If you have a JFI, it is somebody who has contributed 10 lakh rupees to the JCI foundation. If you have a JFC, which is a JC's foundation crown, it is somebody who has contributed 75 lakh rupees to the JCI foundation. So these are titles which people earn through contributing to the JCI foundation. Now the entire purpose of contributing to the JCI foundation is JCI India. And when I say JCI Foundation, right now I'm talking about the JCI India Foundation. Yes, there is a JCI Foundation which is an international foundation also, but I'm not talking about that right now. So what happens is, any contribution that goes to the JCI Foundation is used for the education of children.
All right.
And how so? Across India, we call for applications. 31st July is the last date of application every year. We call for applications through the LOs of children who are good in studies, which means who are consistently scoring 60% marks or above, who are good in studies, but because of their financial background, poor financial background, they find it difficult to continue, right? So these kind of children, we request our chapters to identify them and send their applications to JCI India. JCI India scrutinizes these applications and then gives them a scholarship, which is called the JCI India Scholarship.
All right.
So this foundation contribution which we give is used for this scholarship.
All right.
So if you have contributed a JFS, then at least 3 children will get a scholarship because of your contribution for the next 10 years. The scholarship amount is a 3,000 rupees amount, which may sound small to a lot of us.
But may benefit a lot of children.
But it is a huge amount when it comes to so many people in this country.
Then you have a lot of chapters around the world, so it comes to a big amount.
Yes. So in India, for example, last year we gave upwards of 3,000 scholarships.
All right.
Which is almost 1 crore rupee from JCI India, all through these foundation contributions that we get. We also gave another scholarship which is called Empower Her, which is given to 100 female students for 4 years Same student will get it for 4 years. This is a scholarship of 1,000 rupees per month. 1,000 rupees per month. So 100 students every year. So in cumulative, because it's carry forward of last 4 years, so 400 students get that also. So that is how that foundation money is used. And these titles that you are talking about are people who have contributed to that foundation. In a sense, these are people who have contributed in providing scholarship to those people, and in a sense, these are people who have contributed in bettering the life of those people, because these are the same people who might have otherwise dropped out of school, joined their fathers or families in the fields or in whatever business or small work they do. And these are the same people now, because of these small scholarships, will be able to continue their studies, and who may tomorrow become a doctor, an engineer, a leader.
That's so nice. It's such a noble cause which you are working.
Absolutely.
For. So, sir, before we wrap up, I would like and request you that you've come to Kanpur all the way here, and we are honored and blessed that you are here.
My pleasure.
So, a few words for our chapter.
Kanpur Industrial, JCI Kanpur Industrial is a fantastic chapter. You're doing great work in terms of the projects that you're doing. Each of your project, if it is a social project, it is creating great impact. If it is a PR project, it is generating great PR. And this I can, from the little that I know about, or from the few projects that I know about the chapter is doing, all of these projects are absolutely fantastic projects. All of these projects are projects that must be promoted, that must be advertised, so that others can learn. Yes, to that extent, you're doing fantastic work, and I think you have a great pool of members with a very high potential to make a mark within JCI at the national and international level also. So that is one area where I think JCI Kanpur Industrial has great potential in, and should work towards.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your time, for your insight, and we are greatly honored that you did this podcast with us. Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.